Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to Chef Vic Cuisine. Today we're making butterscotch cookies. Now these cookies will send your taste buds into overdrive. And to be honest, growing up I never really liked butterscotch, but I'm telling you this recipe will make you a believer. Stay tuned to find out why. So without further ado, let's get started. Jumping right into the recipe, in a large bowl, we want to mix together 2.5 cups worth of all-purpose flour with 1 teaspoon of baking soda and half a teaspoon of salt, whisking those together until they're well combined. This creates the dry mix for our recipe. And separately, in a large bowl or the bowl of a stand mixer, you want to add in 3/4 cup of unsalted butter that's been softened to room temperature, with 3/4 cup of light brown sugar, as well as another 3/4 cup of granulated white sugar. If you're using a stand mixer, you want to fit it with a paddle attachment and cream the butter with the sugars until the mix is light and fluffy. And this should take about 3 minutes of mixing. And once the consistency looks like this, you want to take a rubber spatula and scrape down the edges and the bottom of the bowl to make sure that all of the butter and sugar are well combined. Now mixing on low speed, we want to add in 2 eggs that are at room temperature, one at a time, not adding the other until the other one has been well mixed in. And then you want to follow the eggs with 1 teaspoon of pure vanilla extract, whisking that in until it's just combined. Once again, you want to scrape down the sides of the bowl as well to ensure that all of the ingredients are well mixed. Now on low speed, you want to slowly add in the dry mix to the batter and mix it until it just combines. Your batter should look like this, and at this stage we want to fold in 1 cup's worth of butterscotch chips. You can do this by hand or use a stand mixer as well. Your goal here is to make sure that the chips are evenly dispersed amongst the batter. You want to wrap this dough in plastic wrap and chill it in the fridge for at least 1 hour or overnight. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 176 degrees Celsius. You want to line a large baking sheet with parchment paper or a silicone baking mat. Now remove the dough from the fridge and allow it to reach back to room temperature, and this should take about 10 minutes. Scoop about 1 tablespoon's worth of the dough and form it into a ball. You should be able to fit about a dozen dough balls onto a baking sheet. In total, this recipe makes about 30 butterscotch cookies. You want to bake these for 10 to 12 minutes or until they become golden brown. Remove them from the oven and allow them to cool on the baking sheet for another 5 minutes to complete the baking process. You want to repeat this with the remaining amount of dough, and at this stage they're ready to be served and enjoyed. And just like that, you've made butterscotch cookies right at home. You have to give this recipe a try. They're really easy to make, and I'm telling you, this recipe creates one delicious cookie. And for another take on this recipe, you can try to use half a cup's worth of chocolate chips and half a cup of butterscotch chips instead. But as you can see, breaking into one of these cookies, they are light and airy, they will melt in your mouth, and they taste amazing. So when you do try these at home, be sure to tag me at Chef Vic Cuisine or hashtag Chef Vic Cuisine so I can see your great takes on this dish. As always, this recipe and many more can be found in my cookbook, Chef Vic Cuisine Volume 4, Enhancing Your Inner Chef. And that's available on Amazon, and I'll be sure to leave a link to that in my description box. And feel free to click the pop-up on your screen for more information on that as well. Thank you all so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed learning how to make butterscotch cookies, and if you did, make sure you smash that like button for me. It's one of the best ways to show support for this channel. If you haven't done so already, also hit that subscribe button too to see more recipes just like this one. And sharing is caring, so if you enjoyed this recipe and think someone else will too, feel free to share this with all your family and friends. And stay tuned for next week where I show you to make one amazing sandwich, my lobster rolls. This is a great lunch option, so make sure you don't miss this one. Well, thank you all again so much for watching this recipe. I really hope you enjoyed it. You can always check out more recipes on my page now. YouTube thinks you like these videos, so let's see if they're right. And I'll catch you next time on another episode of Chef Vic Cuisine. And until then, peace.